The episode begins with Ryoh Grants arriving at Easton Magic Academy alongside his student companion, Ryoh. As they enter the academy grounds, Ryoh suddenly freezes in place. Ryoh notices this immediately and questions what is happening. After observing the surroundings carefully, Ryoh realizes that time itself has been paused within Easton's domain. He quickly deduces that this time manipulation only affects individuals with weak magical power, allowing stronger magic users to move freely. Ryoh then makes his way to the battlefield, where he meets Caldo in order. They brief him on the situation, explaining how Easton Academy was attacked and how several students, including Burnedead, played a crucial role in defeating both the zombie army and Cell War. Order then informs Ryoh that Wahlberg Baigan is currently fighting Innocent Zero somewhere else within the academy grounds. Hearing this, Mash immediately decides to leave the group to search for Wahlberg. Meanwhile, Order prepares to interrogate Cell War to gain more information. However, before Order can begin the interrogation, Cell War suddenly disappears without a trace. Order is confused by this sudden disappearance. At that moment, Macaron interrupts and warns Order that another member of Innocent Zero may still be lurking somewhere on the battlefield. Taking this warning seriously, Order decides to investigate the surrounding area to locate the remaining enemy. Caldo insists that he and the others remain behind to protect the students and maintain order. The scene then shifts to the ongoing battle between Wahlberg Baigan and Innocent Zero. Innocent Zero is visibly thrilled, expressing his excitement at finally witnessing Wahlberg's spatial magic firsthand. The two continue their intense battle, with Wahlberg relying on powerful space-based spells, while Innocent Zero counters using overwhelming time magic. Innocent Zero gradually gains the upper hand, manipulating time to overpower Wahlberg and restrict his movements. During the fight, Innocent Zero declares that he is stronger than Wahlberg. He claims that his confidence and ego are the source of his power, asserting that absolute belief in oneself is what separates the strong from the weak. At this point, the episode transitions into a flashback of Wahlberg's past. As a young wizard, Wahlberg lived a lonely and sorrowful life, isolated from others and burdened with a deeply pessimistic outlook on the world. His experiences led him to believe that the world was cruel and meaningless. However, everything began to change when he met Adam. Adam's influence helped Wahlberg find hope, compassion, and a reason to protect others, especially those weaker than himself. Returning to the present, Wahlberg declares that he refuses to abandon the weak. He states that protecting others is the path he chose long ago, and he intends to stop Innocent Zero right here. Wahlberg then summons an enormous mech-like magical entity known as Uranus Inclination. He envelops Uranus, himself, and Innocent Zero within a vast space-like dimension created by his magic. Inside this sealed domain, Innocent Zero attempts to use a time-based spell on Wahlberg. However, Wahlberg calmly explains that time manipulation is ineffective within his spatial domain. In response, Innocent Zero unveils a new and even more powerful time spell, freezing both Wahlberg and Uranus completely. Taking advantage of the frozen state, Innocent Zero launches a relentless barrage of time-based attacks against Wahlberg. Eventually, time resumes. Despite being heavily injured, Wahlberg is still able to stand. Aware that he is nearing his limit, Wahlberg prepares one final attack, an attack powerful enough to defeat Innocent Zero, but one that will cost him his own life. Before unleashing the spell, Wahlberg delivers an emotional speech, reaffirming his beliefs and the reason he continues to fight. He then releases the attack with full resolute. Moments later, Wahlberg opens his eyes and realizes that both he and Innocent Zero are still alive. Confused, he suspects that Innocent Zero may have reversed time at the last moment to prevent their mutual destruction. Just as Innocent Zero prepares to finish Wahlberg, Burnedead suddenly appears. Mash attacks Innocent Zero head-on, interrupting the battle. Mash reminds Wahlberg that it does not matter how powerful an opponent may be, he will always fight with everything he has. The episode ends with Mash stepping forward, ready to face Innocent Zero himself.